Hi guys, this is Capricorn Shamaness, and I wanted to share something with you guys today. This week alone, I've had several conversations, questions, different chats around mental health. And so I just kind of wanted to, as I was responding to a question that I got about irrational versus irrational thoughts in a Facebook group that I'm in, I decided that I wanted to jot down a couple things and share. So this is what I'm doing. So rational versus irrational thoughts. Rational thoughts are based in logic and reason, whereas irrational thoughts are not. They are usually based in some type of fear. So for instance, if it's raining outside, and you go outside when in the rain, then without an umbrella, I'll get wet. That's a rational thought. Versus an irrational thought, if I leave the house while it's raining, I'll get hit by a truck. Irrational thought. And the reason why it's irrational is because there are people that leave the house every single day and they do not get hit by a truck. There are things that you could do. Yes, it's possible for you to get hit by a truck, but there's also a greater possibility that you will not. If you take precautions and you're watching where you're going. Now, yes, there can be a fluke of nature or some weird thing that happens, and it happens even if you are being safe and exercising the appropriate precautions, but that's more of a rarity and an exception than the norm. And what has happened is that usually when people have those type of irrational thoughts, they have associated an emotional anchor to that particular experience, whether it was an experience that they experienced themselves, whether it was something that someone who was close to them experienced, whether it was a story that someone told to them, the memory, the experience, their thoughts, their beliefs, the emotions are charging, that anchor that they have to this pain. And so they've associated the trauma, the pain of that trauma, to rain. So what I want you to think about for people who do not struggle with mental illness like anxiety, depression, PTSD, borderline personality disorder. And let me be clear, I am not a doctor. I am not a certified counselor or any of that. I have simply studied a lot of things in my process of evolution in dealing with challenges that I personally have faced. So what I want you to get is that just like people that struggle with anxiety may have irrational fears, people who don't struggle with anxiety also have irrational fears. People experience this every single day. You probably experience this on some level every day. And people who are not categorized as quote unquote crazy, and I do not like that that label at all. But we've all been programmed by society, religion, culture, families, schools, our friends, the circles that we walk in, etc. We've all been programmed to believe in limits that simply are not true. You may not have an extreme irrational fear of the rain, but are you afraid to tell your truth? Are you afraid to speak your truth? Because if you do, fill in the blank. What will happen?